Do you remember Bluesky, the cheap, woke knockoff of Twitter? Turns out it's falling apart, its numbers are in the gutter. Just look at what it is now. This was back in November 2024, after Trump's election victory. It had 8 million active users that month. But now, just look at how much it's dropped. The social network has collapsed, it's fallen apart, and these are numbers from July 2025. Everything seems to indicate that its numbers are even worse now. And yes, when I say this app is a cheap copy of Twitter, I'm not joking. Just look at this. This isn't Twitter, this isn't X, this is Bluesky. I know, the interface is identical, and that's the problem. This app is a cheap and poorly made copy of Twitter, and that's why it's falling apart. It's no coincidence that this trash is collapsing. Also, it's very important to point out that many users on this platform went out of their way to celebrate Charlie Kirk's death. I'm not kidding, they actually celebrated it. This got to the point where, listen to this, Bluesky warned users not to celebrate Charlie Kirk's death after dozens of horrible messages were posted. This really happened, this actually occurred. Not only that, but after this, they started asking for J.K. Rowling to be next. They're aware of the madness. Bluesky users actually started calling for someone to take out J.K. Rowling next. They're completely delusional. And this got to the point where the CEO of the platform himself had to come out and warn them to please not do it. Just imagine. What a mess this whole Bluesky thing is. Look, I go in, I don't even have an account created, I don't have any account at all. I go in and the first thing that pops up is this, Trump talking about Greta Thunberg, as if Trump were the angry one here and Greta Thunberg was some upstanding, normal person. No, please. Let's be honest, Greta Thunberg is a joke. But anyway, yeah, it turns out Bluesky is falling apart, and in a moment we'll look at some more numbers from this platform. Here we can see. Just look at this. No, look at Bluesky's numbers right now. This chart shows the number of new follows that Bluesky users make each day. As we can see, there was a spike in April, okay? But after that, everything fell apart and we can see that the platform is not only stagnant, but interactions keep dropping, it's collapsing, it's falling to pieces. And this shouldn't surprise us because Bluesky has had a ton of problems. Please, pay attention. Service and growth problems. Service outages. Despite being a decentralized social network, Bluesky has experienced significant outages, affecting its users who rely on its infrastructure and official app. It's not even a stable app. Exponential growth. The massive increase in users in 2024, especially during the open beta phase and after its public launch in February 2024, led to a rise in harmful content and caused system failures. Okay, but there's one thing we need to consider, and that's that Bluesky's best moment was really in November 2024, after Trump's electoral victory. Also, obviously, throughout 2024, with all that public support Elon Musk showed for Trump, a ton of progressives rushed over to Bluesky. That's the reality. That's what happened. However, what's the problem? An app can't survive like that, it just can't be sustained that way. And besides, it's not the first time an app has come out promising to dethrone an industry giant. It's not the first time this has happened, and now we're going to talk about all those apps, or at least some of the most important ones, that promised a lot and ended up dying, because in the tech world, the winner takes it all. But anyway, pay attention to what they're telling us here. Legal challenges and management. Accusations from the European Union. The European Union has accused Bluesky of violating its regulations by not disclosing the number of users, which could cause problems for the platform. They haven't even reported a real user count. Interesting. Co-founder walks away. Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Bluesky, said the platform was repeating all of Twitter's mistakes and left the project, according to Business Insider. Disappointing results. Failure as an alternative to X, to Twitter. Bluesky failed to become a successful replacement for Twitter, ending up as a duller, thinner echo of it, according to various media outlets. Lack of impact on the community. The most influential and outspoken users have returned to X, showing that Bluesky hasn't achieved its goals for community and usage. The problem with Bluesky is that the vast majority of influential people on the left have already left, they've abandoned the platform, and now only a handful of people from the far left remain there. That's the harsh reality. I'm telling you, a lot of those people were laughing about Charlie Kirk's death and were even asking for someone to do the same to J.K. Rowling, saying she should be next. It's completely insane. Totally delusional, but that's what happened. That actually happened. They even asked that after J.K. Rowling, someone should do the same to Elon Musk and then go after Donald Trump. It's just crazy. These people are not right in the head. I'm saying it because it's the truth. When you ask for something like this, you're not right in the head. Seriously. So, obviously, when this is your user base, It's only natural that the rest of the people who are at least somewhat sane end up leaving the platform. If you add to that the fact that it's not even a stable social network because it has tons of problems, it's a platform that's constantly crashing, well, there you have your answer. You know what's funny? It's that this isn't the first time an app or social network comes out bragging that it's going to beat a giant. And it ends up making a fool of itself. Or do you guys remember?
Do you remember Google+? You probably didn't use it, but you did have it. And that's exactly the story, a social network nobody asked for, but everyone had. Not because we were interested, but because Google forced it on us. At some point, without you even noticing, your Gmail account also became a Google+ account. It was connected to YouTube, your Android phone, your calendar, your cloud storage. And even if you didn't want to use it, it was still there. But why would a company as big as Google do something like that? In the early 2010s, Google was starting to dominate almost the entire internet. It was the most used search engine, and its Chrome browser was growing fast. Gmail was the favorite email service of millions of people, and Android was starting to take over the smartphone market. And yet, they were afraid. Afraid that people would stop using the so-called open web and end up trapped inside platforms like Facebook. They were afraid of losing visibility, data, and users. Obviously, they didn't want to be left behind. And it's in this context that Google+ was born.
Let's be clear, Google+ was a failure. And that's even though its owner was Google, one of the industry giants, and they still couldn't beat Facebook at the time. In fact, the title of the video says, 90% didn't even last 5 seconds here. Google+ was a disaster. Of course it was. It was a monumental failure. In fact, here they ask, why did Google+ become one of the biggest failures of the internet giant? There are tons of reasons, so many explanations, but seriously, this app was dead on arrival. Even though Google did everything possible to force us to use it. The vast majority of people had a Google+ account and didn't even know it. In fact, few people remember, but at the time we had Vine, which promised to be the Twitter of videos. A lot of people said it was going to replace YouTube and, look, it never did, it never managed to, and this social network was forced to shut down. However, honestly, from my point of view, Vine laid the groundwork for what would later become TikTok. But anyway, there's another really interesting app that, I don't know if you remember, became super popular at the time, a social network that was another copy of Twitter, and it's none other than Mastodon. Do you remember Mastodon? When Elon Musk bought Twitter, this social network became extremely popular. A lot of people said it would be the replacement for Twitter, but well, time set things straight. So, I'm telling you, that's what happens in the tech world, the winner takes it all. For example, the #1 in long-form videos is YouTube, by far. It's the #1 video social network in the world, at least for long-form content, because let's remember TikTok is out there too. And I ask you, what's in second place? It's probably Facebook, even though it's not exclusively focused on videos. But do you see what I mean? It's always the same ones who get all the slices of the pie, and the rest are left with crumbs, because in the tech world, the winner takes it all. That's why Bluesky was a social network that was dead on arrival. From day one, that social network was doomed to die. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I would really love to know what you think and what your opinions are about all this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.